Lequita Brooks here. I am your host and social impact speaker and strategist. Welcome to Social Impact Sundays at 6, where we have massive social impact and income. And today we have Takiyah Joseph. Oh my goodness, she is here for the social work movement segment. The thing that I love about Takiyah is that she specializes in working with moms who are busy, and she supports them with navigating life, parenting, all the things. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Lequita.
Thank you. So this right here is one of those topics that touch so many of us, even me included, because just navigating life and parenting and momhood and working and business and all the things can be so much, so overwhelming. So tell us about your expertise, your practice, all the things.
Sure. So it is unbelievable for me to tell you that I've been in the field of social work for over 15 years already. And it's been quite a journey. I've worked with very young children all the way to the elderly, couples, groups, and families. At this stage of my career, I am one of two co-founders of a group practice called Acknowledge You Counseling and Consulting Services. And our brick and mortar location is based in Orange Park, Florida. On site, I wear several hats. But one of my favorite hats that I wear is as a full-time clinician. I work with a large population, but most of my clients are comprised of busy moms, moms who work full-time and also trying to manage a household and take care of those babies while doing the work on themselves. So that is how I spend most of my time at my practice.
And tell me, what was it that led you to specialize in working with busy moms?
So, to be quite honest with you, it was my own evolution as an individual. Becoming a mom changed my life in more ways than I even anticipated. And one of the challenges that I faced as a mom and a professional is figuring out, how do I maximize my time, take care of my babies, give them the best of me while showing up for my clients in the room. And it was difficult and challenging. And I came to realize I'm having a very similar experience to many of the moms in my personal and professional circles. But a lot of us aren't talking about it because of mom guilt and this idea that it sounds bad, right? That you don't want it to be perceived as you don't love your babies or you don't care about your clients, but you're being tapped out from several different spaces. And that's how I discovered, hey, I have a lot that I can share professionally and personally with this particular population. Let me tap in a little bit more to this. And it's been pretty exciting.
I can only imagine being able to combine your education, life experiences, and your expertise. So
Mhm.
tell us like more about mom guilt and what does that look like?
So I found personally that it became uncomfortable sometimes to say, I need a break or I'm exhausted without over explaining and putting it in context for people. Making sure that they understood that did not mean I was tired of my family. That did not mean I was tired of my career or tired of my clients. It just meant I'm exhausted. Maybe I need a little bit more self-care than I'm practicing at the moment, or I'm overcompensating in one area rather than the other. So I found when I started working with moms in the clinical setting, they would often say, I just feel really tired, but let me explain. I love my children and I love my spouse or I love my partner. And I will quickly let them know, in this space that we've created, you don't have to over explain that. You are human before you're a mom, before you're a professional. And it's perfectly healthy and normal to be able to express that you're feeling a little tired right now. You love them all the same, but we need to figure out how to carve out some time for you to take good care of yourself.
I love how you shared you are human, like
That's
you
right.
were who
Yeah.
you are before you became a mom and all these other titles.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I think we forget that sometimes. We put on our superhero cape, and then it's like, when do I get to take it off? Or when do I get to, stop for a second and refresh? And so a lot of times in sessions, I'm helping moms figure out how to carve that time out, how to teach their children about genuine, authentic feelings and experiences, So instead of saying, things that we end up regretting, we can put it in context for our children and use healthy vocabulary, letting our children know, I'm feeling a little bit tired. Why don't we do a quiet activity right now? Or, it's early. Let's go ahead and exhaust some of that energy. Let's go for a walk. Let's go play. And then later we'll have some calm down time, some quiet time. So learning how to verbalize that to our children so they also understand the idea of a time and place.
Those are some really great examples on how to actually communicate that to your children. So it's still in a loving way, gentle, but also making sure that the mom, gets exactly what she needs in that particular moment and what she desires.
That's right.
It
Exactly.
be about a need. It should be
that.
about desires too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what would you say right now to that professional mom?
I would say it's important to sit down and look at your priorities and ask yourself a really important question. Which one of these things or which few of these things on this list are life or death? Because a lot of times what I notice as personally and as a professional for moms, everything feels like high priority. But our priorities shift from day to day, moment to moment, and even season to season. So go ahead and take a look at that list and reorganize the list so that the things of the utmost importance are getting the best of you, the most of you, and then go one item at a time. We've only got 24 hours in a day. Cut yourself some slack and remember that you can reorganize at any moment you need to.
Prioritize and reorganize.
Yes. Yes. That's the name of the game.
I absolutely love that. And any other tips or strategies would you share with just moms who are busy? They might not be professional moms, but they could just be like busy moms.
Yeah. There's no shame in needing some downtime. And downtime looks different for different people. When I talk about downtime, I'm often asking moms, what are your hobbies? And I get the blank stare, right? So even for my stay-at-home moms, that happens exactly the same, right? So I would say take some time to rediscover yourself. And it doesn't have to be this lengthy hour-long or several hours-long process. It can be just taking moments to grab a book, grab some puzzles, turn on a show that you really like, actually even Googling, or look at, we're on social media a lot right now. So take a look at the reels or the social media personalities that you tend to gravitate to and start exploring, why is that? Is it the subject matter that I really like? Maybe I need to dig in a little bit more to this, or what is it about this personality that I gravitate to? Pay a little closer attention so that you can start framing your downtime around things that make you feel good, things that bring relaxation, and things that even rejuvenate and empower you to feel better if you're not feeling that great at the moment.
And a lot of things you mentioned are things that we probably enjoy doing, but we don't actually look at it with intention. Like, let me intentionally set this time aside to Netflix. And it's not a bad thing to sometimes just Netflix.
No, it's not. It's not a bad thing to, drop the children to school and climb back in the bed and read your book when you have that time. So that's a big part of the conversation too, working with moms, is removing that guilt from those downtime moments and recognizing that we all need them. We're not robots. I find myself saying that a lot in session. We're not robots. You're expecting your body to function with very little fuel, right? And part of the fuel is not just things that get your energy pumping really high. It's also things that help you to bring it down a notch and feel centered and feel calm and grounded. So we need that time.
And that's the word, because sometimes as moms, we feel like the only way to be productive is if we're on high alert or if we're energetic. But it sounds like you're saying, just like, you refuel to be energized and to be a busybody in a sense, but then you also need to refuel to be able to have that moment to just relax, calm your mind, and really think about, like what's next and what's important for you in this season.
Exactly. Right. And something I say, a saying that I have a lot in sessions too, is that busyness is the enemy of stillness and self-reflection. Right. So it's very difficult to be self-reflective and busy. for you to check in and be self-aware, you have to have moments of stillness. And we have to intentionally create that.
I love that quote. So with all of this, what's next for you and all the professional moms, busy moms, and just moms in general in your practice?
So there's so much that I'm wanting to do. So the end of the year, as does many times a year, but the end of the year is a very intentional self-reflective moment. So right now I am celebrating the wins, the big wins, the small wins, and then creating a vision for what's next for the practice and for myself personally. One of the things that I am really, really focused on right now for the team at my practice is figuring out how to eliminate that need to work several jobs to create the lifestyle that we want to have. So I am doing a lot of research and networking and connecting intentionally to figure out how to create opportunities for my practice and for myself to make our work more intentional so that we can work smarter and not harder. It's not anymore about the amount of hours that we're putting in. It's what are we doing with the hours we are working? I don't want my team members to put more hours on the calendar. I'm trying to figure out how to maximize the time that we've carved out professionally so that we can also have more time to enjoy lives outside of work a little bit more.
And that says a lot about you because you're not just, you don't just teach your clients this, but you also are living this. You're walking in it and you're practicing the same things that you teach your clients.
Yes. And that's intentional, right? I figured out very early on in my career that to be the best social worker I can be, to show up in a space and be authentic, I have to do the work that I am teaching and guiding my clients in doing. So I've tried my best to remain very committed to that. And like other humans, I sometimes am not on my toes about it, but I try to be cognizant and do that work as consistently as possible.
So excited for you, your practice, all the things in 2024. So how can people find you?
So they can visit our website, and it's www.acknowledgeyou, the letter U, cc.com. So that's acknowledgeyoucc.com. And you can access our social media platforms from there as well.
Thank you so much, Takiyah, for being on Social Impact Sundays at 6. I am Lequita Brooks, your host and social impact speaker and strategist. For speaking engagements, make sure you go to booklequita.com. Until next time.